Hi, I'm Madi Martinez. We're here to talk about Chapter 6 of The Artist's Way. It's called Recovering a Sense of Abundance. And this week, we tackle a major creative block, money. Asked to really look at our own ideas around God, money, and creative abundance. Exploring how our attitudes limit abundance and luxury in our current life. This week may feel volatile, Julia says. This week I did my pages 7 days. For my artist date, I drove about an hour away from my home and I picked up some lotion that I love from a health food store. It's called Opulent Hands. This isn't an ad, I'm just telling you I like this lotion. So that's what I did for my artist date, is I went and got it. It's really clean. Just has natural ingredients in it, and that's my shit. That's what I like in a product. It's unscented. So that's what I did for my artist date. I listened to some YouTube videos and I got a snack once I got out there. And then I went to see my brother Alex, which wasn't part of my artist date, but really was nice to see him because I haven't seen him since Christmas. Grateful for him. Then significant issues this week. I had a hard time connecting with the subject matter of this week. Honestly, I don't think I feel worthy of making money, or maybe for some reason I am scared to, even though I want it, and for so many reasons. I think I would use it for good reasons. I really felt resistance to this chapter. Though I did work very hard the past couple weeks substitute teaching, and I made a lot more money than I usually make. The first section of this chapter is called The Great Creator. In order to thrive as artists, and one could argue as people, we need to be available to universal flow. Julia gave some examples of some self-sabotaging beliefs like money is bad, God is too good to deal with money. This section of the chapter was talking about humans placing security in financial standing rather than in God. Thinking our will for us and God's will for us are at opposite ends of the table is grounded in an idea that God is a stern parent with very rigid ideas around what's appropriate for us. This stunted concept needs alteration. If you are still dealing with the God consciousness that has remained unexamined since childhood, you are probably dealing with the toxic God. We might hold ourselves back by our inability to expect divine help. People who expect it tend to receive it. Julia says, creativity is not and has never been sensible. Why should it be? Why should you be? Do you still think there is some moral virtue in being martyred? If you want to make some art, make some art. Just a little art. 2 sentences. 1 rhyme. A silly kindergarten ditty. That resonated with me a lot because I think sometimes I'm like, oh, if I make something, it's got to be incredible. So I'll judge every little piece of it instead of just letting it be a sentence, a word. Just letting it be a simple thing, thinking it has to be this grand thing. Making art begins with getting into the now and enjoying your day. It begins with giving yourself some small treats and breaks. As you expect God to be more generous, God will be able to be more generous to you. What you really want to do is what you are really here to do. When we do what we are meant to do, money comes to us, doors open for us, we feel useful, and the work we do feels like play to us. The second section was called Luxury. Julia says luxury is a learned practice because blocked creatives are artistically anorexic, yearning to be creative and refusing to feed that hunger. We need to indulge and pamper ourselves to give ourselves a sense of abundance, safety, solidarity, and order. She says this doesn't need to be expensive because a form of luxury is quality time with friends, family, and with ourselves. So that would be with no agendas of accomplishment. Luxury is also space we carve out for ourselves. Remember that your artist is a youngster, and youngsters like things that are mine. My chair, my book, my pillow. Designing a few things special and yours alone. Blocked creatives are often the Cinderellas of the world, focused on others at the expense of ourselves. We may even be threatened by the idea of spoiling ourselves for once. At the most basic level, this means choosing to do self-care. Stop making your creative callings work and make them fun again. Forget high-minded aspirations. What sounds fun? Much of what we do in our creative recovery may seem silly. Silly is a defense our wet blanket and adult uses to squelch our artist child. Beware of silly as a word you toss at yourself. Yes, artist dates are silly. That's the point. Creativity lives in paradox. Serious art is born from serious play. There was a couple exercises about money which I feel are personal, so I will not share my responses to, but it was like a start of a sentence, you finish the sentence on your thoughts about money. These are way too serious for me, and money feels like such a big topic for me, like very personal for me, so I don't even want to address any of it publicly. The tasks were all about finding natural abundance. It's very cold outside, so I'm not gonna do these tasks. I'm not interested in finding rocks or leaves or flowers outside right now because it's very snowy. She said, bake something, create something. It's the weekend now, so I might take some time to do something. My husband found a little guitar that used to be his little sister's in the garage. I think that's where he found it, and he put some new strings on it, so I might play that this weekend. She says, reread the basic principles once a day. Read an artist's prayer, which is on page 207, 208. I can read that with you. An artist's prayer. O great Creator, we are gathered together in your name, that we may be of greater service to you and to our fellows. We offer ourselves to you as instruments. We open ourselves to your creativity in our lives. We surrender to you our old ideas. We welcome your new and more expansive ideas. We trust that you will lead us. We trust that it is safe to follow you. We know you created us and that creativity is your nature and our own. We ask you to unfold our lives according to your plan, not our low self-worth. Ooh. Help us to believe that it is not too late, and that we are not too small or too flawed to be healed by you and through each other and made whole. Help us to love one another, to nurture each other's unfolding, to encourage each other's growth, and understand each other's fears. Help us to know that we are not alone, that we are loved and we are lovable. Help us to create an act of worship to you. Whew. She talks about clearing out, making any changes in your home environment that you need to make. I got a lot of laundry to do, so I mean I have a lot of laundry to do. She says prosperity, any new change. Okay, that's the tasks. I saw a really cool video yesterday about the flow of money and abundance versus scarcity, and also about creators, so I want to share that with you. But before I do, I just want to say thanks for meeting me here this week. I really don't have that much to give. I feel like, I don't know, I'm just doing my best. So I hope that any of this landed with you. Hope the artist way is going well for you. Take care of yourself. Here's a video. Thank you.
Billionaires are not real. not in the way that we think, not in the way we imagine wealth to be. Because money, true money, flows. It moves, it exchanges, it circulates. But a billionaire is not just a person with money. A billionaire is a system, a machine, a siphon. Think about it. To amass that level of wealth, you are not just earning, you are extracting. You are not just working, you are leveraging. It is not about the hours you put in. It is not about your effort. It is about the system you control. Because no one builds an empire alone. The billionaire is an idea man, a strategist, a figurehead. The real labor, the real energy, the real creation, that comes from the hands of the many, the designers, the engineers, the workers, the dreamers who pour their time, their effort, their very life force into something they will never own. The billionaire is not rich in money. The billionaire is rich in influence and power and the ability to direct the flow of energy, resources, and people. And what is the cost of this illusion? The earth is exhausted. The people are drained. We extract more than we replenish. We take more than we give. And in return, the world suffers. The economy fractures. People are in survival mode, disconnected, angry, desperate. Why? Because the flow has stopped. Because wealth, instead of circulating, is hoarded. And we are told this is just how it is, that some must struggle so others can thrive, that competition is the natural order. But that is a lie. The greatest trick played on humanity was convincing us that scarcity is real, that we must fight over what is abundant, that we must hoard what was meant to be shared. But abundance does not come from hoarding, it comes from giving. It comes from the natural balance of energy exchanged. If wealth does not flow, it does not nourish. If it does not give back, then it is not wealth at all. It is greed. It is control. It is spiritual imbalance. And imbalance is chaos. It breeds disharmony, conflict, war. Because when people are forced into survival mode, they cannot unite. And unity, true unity, is the one thing that threatens the system. It is the one thing that shifts power from the few back to the many. It is the one thing that reminds us that we were never meant to live in lack. So why are you hoarding? Why are you keeping what was meant to be shared? Everyone can eat. Everyone can thrive. The earth was designed to give, and so were we. Billionaires are not real, but the suffering they cause is. And until we wake up, until we reclaim the flow of energy, the flow of wealth, the balance of giving and receiving, we will remain trapped in an illusion. But illusions can be broken, and the truth is waiting.